Okay. Let me get a fresh
All
page.
right. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Nate Scott here, author of Life is Rich, How to Create Lasting Wealth. Just wanted to give you guys a bird's eye view of what it looks like when working directly with me. And so oftentimes what I'll do is I'll get with other industry leaders or industry soon to be leaders and actually um, provide some mentorship. And I do this at no financial cost, but instead what I'll do is I'll ask for permission to record those sessions and in exchange for the value that I give, and this is on, they've got to decide it on their own terms. If I give value, that they're willing to actually provide a testimony that recants what actually they received, the value, the substance fee, so that I can in turn let you guys get the social proof that many of you need in order to get off the wallet. All right. And
Yes.
so today I want to introduce Miss Jawanda Jackson.
Yes.
All right. So Jawanda, we're getting started. I'd like you to begin by simply introducing yourself, and this is the opportunity for you to give your origin story.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ah, that's right. So
Well,
tell us
thank
how
you
we
for
met.
the
Yep,
opportunity.
yep,
So, my
yep.
name is Wanda Jackson. I am an online marketer. I'm currently living in beautiful Dominican Republic. I actually got here about a year ago, last March, and was here for 6 months, and then left for the fall, and then came back. I recently came back earlier this month. It's currently January, and I came here because I'm a construction manager by trade, and I've been learning Spanish for about 3 years, and I just felt like it was time to finish learning Spanish. So I left my job in January of 2019, and said, "Hey, I'll see you guys next year when I come back." But I need to go and finish this goal. But what I really wanted to do um, was to, in addition to learning Spanish, was to really um, make this online marketing thing happen, like make money online. So I was in the DR and just having a really good time and enjoying the weather and the culture for about 6 months. And one day, I just had a really really tough day because for for several reasons. It was a really uncomfortable morning. I was getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning at that time and just really working hard towards like trying to make something happen with a passion project. And I really needed that passion project to really deliver. I spent tons of time like created some really valuable content, and I really needed to make some sales because I needed to pay my rent. And um, come the end of the month, the end of 6 weeks, I wasn't able to pay my rent, and it was just a really uncomfortable situation to be in. I had to tell my host mother, who didn't speak English, that, and I was at an intermediate like level of Spanish at that point, that I didn't have the rent money, and that would have been an uncomfortable conversation in English, let alone in like a second language that you're
Right.
still like working to master. So that was a really challenging time. But what I realized from that time is that I really needed to focus on marketing and not so much offer creation. It wasn't really challenging to create something. What I realized was a more important skill was to know how to market and offer, know how to market services and products. So I decided that I was, instead of like chasing a passion project, which I can do later when I'm like financially secure, like super financially secure, or when I get to a certain point, uh, then I can then I can do that. But now it is the time to really focus on marketing. So what I did was I started looking for different opportunities to focus on marketing, but also to start earning money online. And found a really great opportunity in affiliate marketing, and I found a company called Easy One Up. And the really exciting thing about Easy One Up is the product is it sells online courses, but it allows you to purchase the licensing fee of those courses and to actually sell those same courses and earn a commission. So you essentially earn while you learn. And it's been a really exciting opportunity to be a part of. There are different levels that you can join The thing that I really love about it is because it's an affiliate marketing company, you earn a commission off of what you make, and sometimes commissions can be 20%, 30%, 40% if you're lucky. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the product. But in this case, the commissions are 100%. And we're talking the lowest level is $25. You can join the highest level is $2,000. So those are 100% commissions that you can earn for promoting the project, the products. So yeah, I was just really excited to like have found something that works for me. As far as me being able to pay my rent, I made some adjustments that allow me to go home, save some money, and then come back, which I recently did. And but just really excited to have found like an opportunity where I can earn while I learn, and that's how I got where I am today. How we got to this conversation, and yeah, it's been pretty exciting, and I'm just really grateful for the time to be building things that will provide value to other people.
Very good, very good. So right now, I know that you're going through the secret MLM hacks curriculum.
Mm.
Um, so where are you now in going through it, and what do you think you need right now in order to what do you need the most help with right now?
Okay, so I'm on the third module. I just finished the third module. I'm moving into the fourth module. I finished that module in 2 days, so I'm super excited about that because it took me a week to finish module one, a week to finish module two, and I'm really excited about that. The part that I'm having a challenge with module one, at the end of module one, like you should have an idea of some paid prospecting thing that you can offer. I have an idea of something, and I feel like it's a really good paid prospecting thing because I did an ask campaign and I asked my desired audience what it is that they need, where they're struggling. Um, where I'm struggling is I want to create something like really awesome to, to help kind of meet that need. Um, but it's just a heavy lift because there's so many people involved, so many moving parts, or at least it feels like there's so many moving parts. And I could really use some help kind of talking through that. So I have two things in mind. The first thing is a video series of how to outsource things because my my target audience, my dream customers having trouble with time management. They just don't have, they're busy, they're students, they're mothers, um, they have full-time jobs, they're young professionals, and they just don't have time um, to like put in the work to start a side hustle, although they really want to. And what I'd like to create for them, the smaller thing, is just a series of like a 3 video series of like how to outsource things for like $5. Because I've done that many times, many times. And and the bigger thing that I would love to create for them is a 30-day summit where I speak to women in the same not arena but in the same socioeconomic area, but on who have online businesses. I'd like to talk with them about like how do they manage their time, because I have tons of time management hacks, but I understand that time management is not a one size fits all thing, and
Okay.
it's different for different people. Different things work for different people, but in addition to that, things that may have worked for you 2 years ago may not work for you in the season that you're in right now. So I'd like to create a resource where we can get a bunch of women together, and I interview each one of them. There's an interview that drops every day for 30 days, and they just share their time management hacks and share their story. And that's the thing that I like to create. It's just that I need the people. I need to, first of all, I need to find a criteria for who I want to talk to. I need to kind of get a little more clear on that. I need to kind of reach out to those people who and it, all of which would be strangers, and uh, and then I need to actually logistically record the videos, organize the videos, brand the videos, and then like post the videos, schedule the videos.
Got it.
So
Let me ask you this. So your audience, well, first and foremost, want to write down this note: begin with the end in mind.
okay,
Begin with the end in mind. Uh, the book I started reading that I first got this concept was Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen Covey. I started reading that in 1996. So that's a book that's a reoccurring one since 1996.
okay,
Okay, so that's a staple with certain things that I think that as a young entrepreneur is going to be beneficial to you.
okay,
The other thing is this idea of time management. I don't call it time management because time is time. You don't manage that resource. You really manage yourself. So I look at it as self-management, and the differentiator between those two means that it will cause you to start prioritizing.
okay.
Now, this is going to bring me to the idea of Simon Sinek that speaks to, he's the author of one book called Start With Why,
Mm,
Simon Sinek. And in that, he talks about purpose, priority, productivity. What you just now
okay,
communicated to me, I think that's going to be the most valuable thing I give to you, is to help you to slow up and really step back and look forward to where you really want to get to,
okay,
which means getting clear about your purpose. Based upon what your purpose is, that's going to drive the priority of what you focus on doing and then allow you to be more productive. So, what would you define as your purpose for even going down this path
I think
of online marketing?
my purpose is to create online, excuse me, to create financial freedom in my life, but more than that, uh, just a level of autonomy I that is difficult to come by in the industry that I work in as a young professional, someone that works 40 hours a week when I'm working, sometimes most of the time more than 40 hours a week, and I would just like to have more control over my time. And for instance, I am most productive from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m., but I work from 7 to 4. And I would really like to me, it makes sense to work during that time, but to my employer, it doesn't make sense for people to be working those hours, but they could get so much more out of me if I was able to work in that time frame. And I just feel like I want to be in more control of my time, and when I am working, I want to be doing it when I'm most productive and when I can give the most.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, in regards to your corporate side, here's what you got to do. I need you to work on making that case. I need you to make that case from the business owner's perspective. Make the case of why that would be more beneficial to me as an employer.
Okay.
Show me how you impact the bottom line. Show me what things I have you doing during those 7 to 4 hours that you could be doing from 2 to 10.
Right. Okay.
You got to show me that you know your workload and those things that I'm asking of you to do in order to make my business work.
Right.
Because my mindset is, no, you need to be working during working hours. Working hours is when everybody else is working,
Sure. I
right?
under, I think I understand that it makes sense for the company. I just I
It
would
may
like.
not. It may not. It may not.
Okay, that's a good point.
So what I'm saying is, you're saying that you want something.
Right.
I'm saying you got to have the mindset of making the case to
Right.
show that actually there's
That's
value to be given.
that's true, but what I want is not to like um I'm not I don't necessarily want um to kind of lobby for flexibility in my I guess my employment with my employer. I I would really like to like leave the employer.
Okay, tell me that. See, what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying about purpose and clarity.
Right.
That's it. See, we got to
Yeah.
know what the real goal is.
Right. Yes. I'm just gonna because it's encroaching on me. But yeah. So I am. I'd like to be in control of my time as an entrepreneur. I like
Okay,
to,
I got
I
that.
like to be
You
an
want freedom.
entrepreneur. Yeah, I want financial freedom, but I also want time freedom.
Well, great, great. Life is Rich: How to Create Lasting Wealth. My book
Right.
means that you have freedom. Financial freedom without time freedom is not freedom.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I got you. I understand. So with that said, we gotta what is it that will allow you to quote unquote be free? How much per month?
6,000 a month.
Okay, so now that's what we got to work at. So then the goal is to create 6,000 a month passively.
Yes.
Okay, and what I recommend is that you get that at least 90 days, maybe 6 months before you decide to move away from it.
Okay.
Because the ideal
You mean
situation
move
is
away from it?
from your job.
Okay.
Yeah, from your job. Ideally, what you should do is build a business. Versus, the question is, do you want a business owner? Do you want to have a business, or you want self-employment?
A business.
Business. So then let's build a business while you're working so that you can show that the business is actually a business.
Well, fortunately for me, I'm not working right now. I won't be working. I don't have plans to go back to work before the middle of April. So I have a lot of time to work towards building that business now. And I'm really blessed in that I'm, I'm risk averse enough to say, hey, I'll do this later. I'll see you guys later. Uh, but yeah, I want to do whatever I can right now while I have this respite to to build the systems out so that when I do get back to work, so one that possibly I don't have to go back to work, but two, when I do get back to work, it will be it will be something that is potentially short lived.
Yeah, got it. Okay, cool. So now with that being said, with the target being set, now the question is, what's most important to you, the result or what's most important, the outcome or the input or the output?
The output.
Output. Okay. With that being the case, now we got to talk about what makes money come in, and that's people. And money is exchanged when value is given. Money is exchanged when value is given.
Okay.
Who determines what value is?
The person.
The customer, the client, the prospect,
The customer.
right? Okay, so
Mhm.
now value is when you solve a problem for me, or meet a want. You either give me something that I want or you solve a problem that I have.
Right.
So now what you got to do is you got to find and prove that you have a willing buyer
Okay.
that has the ability to pay you for the solution to a problem that they are actively seeking a solution for.
Okay.
That's the most direct route to what you want to get to. You want to find that you want to identify that audience that you want to serve. And then you want to identify the problem that audience can be shown the problem that they actually want to solve. They're either doing it right now, they're looking for the answer for it right now, or they're not even aware of it. And if they were shown the problem, it's a high likelihood that they would perceive it to be a problem. So much so that they're willing to change and do something with their resources to get it answer to.
Okay. So how do I do that? How do I find people that are looking for an answer right now?
Well, that part is easy. Find people who are looking for an answer right now is easy because you can do a search where see what's the most searched keyword, for example, to find what people are searching for. Then you know that. Now we can also look at yourself and say, well, what things have you been looking for an answer to?
Right.
For example, what caused you to get into online marketing?
The desire to have financial freedom.
Okay. So then you went looking for an answer. Okay. Now that's not common. 97% of people don't want to sell anything, don't want to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And so that's one of the problems with people getting into network marketing, MLM, is that they're pitching opportunity.
Okay.
Which end up coming off to someone like me as pseudo pyramid schemes.
Okay.
Because as an entrepreneur, I'm looking to give you my product or service for the money. I'm not spending my time trying to get you to get into making money.
Okay.
When I had my 40-unit apartment complex, I wasn't telling my prospective tenants, you gotta buy an apartment.
Right.
McDonald's franchise owner, people ain't coming into the county and they're not saying, you gotta buy a franchise.
Okay. You mean you gotta buy an apartment building? When you say you gotta buy an apartment, did you mean like you have to
building
the homeowner? Yeah, or own the building. Okay, I see your point.
I ain't trying to get you to buy a building so you can rent out to people.
Right.
I'm in business.
Right.
I got a McDonald's franchise. I'm in business. The thing I'm offering to you are hamburger and fries. I ain't trying to get you to buy a franchise.
Right.
What you find in opportunities oftentimes is that people are not entrepreneurs. They're not trained to be entrepreneurs. So what they're doing is they're looking at being a distributor for the company who was started by an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur says, I got to move my product or services to the market. So I've got to either do it with W-2 employees or with 1099 independent contractors.
Okay.
So as an affiliate program put in place is because an entrepreneur says, how can I get my stuff out to the market?
Right.
A direct sales or network marketing company says, how can I get my stuff to the market? I know I'm going to tell someone, here's an opportunity for them to reach their goals.
Right.
And I'm going to give them a way to get compensated by them going and getting other people to go chase their dream. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I share that with you to say, first is we got to decide to be an entrepreneur. Okay. Which means that the things you have that you're going to market to the consumers, because that's what's going to secure your financial freedom. You got to have consumers that are buying your product or service and ideally they're buying it over and over again, as opposed to you doing transactions where you're doing one sale and you got to go find a new customer. There are only three ways for you to increase your revenue. Three ways to increase your revenue. Number one, you got to get new customers.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you got to get your customers buying more often. Number three, getting your customers buying more.
Okay. So are you
So
saying to think of this as a long game opposed to just focusing on this one opportunity that I have?
you got to focus on your end state. Your long-term game is freedom, right?
Yeah.
Freedom, which means that you got to build it.
I'm sorry. I was writing down the three things. I got two of them. New customers buying more often. What was the third one?
Spending more.
Spending more. Thank you.
So as an example is you start out with something initially, your low end of the ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got that customer. See, that's why you have that self-liquidating offer.
Right. Right.
To secure the customer.
Right.
Not necessarily make money.
I understand that. I understand that the paid prospecting is about building a critical mass of customers.
Not a critical mass of customers, but a critical mass of
Leads?
yeah. Because the lead is not a customer.
So yeah, that's true. The lead is not a customer. But what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of the paid prospecting thing is I'm thinking of the people that actually purchase the paid prospecting.
Some people get it for free. I mean, literally, there are people that will buy the thing for free because it was such a good deal. But it may not be the thing that you actually offer on the other side. So, for example, I'm one that I look for stuff because I know people are in this game trying to get leads.
Mm-hmm.
And some people get the leads because they give it away for free.
Right.
You're talking paid prospecting because you're looking at ways to try to get paid advertising. Money to put into the funnel, money to put into so you can go spend more, at least if you're following what is being taught.
Right. To liquidate the advertising costs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that philosophy. But I teach people how to think versus what to think. You remember he's a marketer. So that stuff is laid out with a different, I'm trying to give you the full gamut so that you can take where you're at right now and not find yourself trying to implement something that isn't filling in the gap. Okay. So again, the most important thing is identifying and validating that there's a buyer for whatever it is that you want to provide. And I'd say instead of what you want to provide, find out what they want and give it to them. I talk about that, and if I can find it, I'll read it to you exactly what I said. The secret to whether or not it's a million or a billion, and I share it in the context of when I went from 5 million to zero, and I said, I've always been interested in teaching, but I always thought that teaching could not afford me the financial rewards I desired. Following a speaking engagement in 2010, I was followed into the hallway by about 25 people from the audience who wanted to know if I did other seminars or had other speaking engagements. I said yes. And I'm actively doing research to find exactly what people want to earn or want to learn today. That's one tip. I was doing research to find out what they wanted to learn today. So I asked them what they wanted and what it would look like if they could have anything they wanted.
Okay.
This is a very important lesson. I believe that to make $1 million or $1 billion or to have a great relationship, you only need to do three things. Number one, find out what they want.
Okay.
Number two, go and get it. Number three, give it to them. Number one, find out what they want. Number two, go and get it. Number three, give it to them. Every financially successful person or company you can think of has followed this simple 3-part formula, which is exactly what I did with these students. I asked them what they wanted and what it looked like. This book is a blueprint to help people in going through or coming out of an unexpected life transition. So with what I just now gave you, you said you did an ask campaign, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means you got something. So the question is, I would want to do is find out, that ask campaign, and if it was something that you were really doing research and what you did with that information that you gained. So walk me through that. You got your ask campaign.
Mm-hmm.
What were you asking? What were you looking to get from that?
I was looking to find out what my audience was struggling with so I could create something to kind of fill the gap for that.
Okay, now with just that, you did the question. So the question is, so based on what you said, your ask campaign, which is what most people do,
Mm-hmm.
is you just go ask them what they're struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
But the next thing that you need to really find out is, which is what? Look at my steps that I gave you.
What do they want? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
what they actually want in a solution, which means that you got to find out what they struggle with, but then you got to also find out what the desired outcome they want. And then you got to figure out how to package it in the most conducive way for them. So how they want it. So then you can put that together, then give it to somebody to see if they buy it.
Right.
Because the question is, if I get it, will you buy it?
Right.
If I give it to you, will you buy it? Does that make sense?
Yes. So do it sounds like I need to do another ask campaign saying, what are you struggling with right now?
Well, not just the what are you struggling with part. That's not the key is what's the gap. So for example, if I asked you, um,
so I was going to say, I need to ask them what they're struggling with right now. What do they want right now? How do they want it? And then would they buy it?
yeah, but most important, because they may not know how they want it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to run it all together. What you want to do is kind of put it together is, yeah, you might find out what the best way they learn, or if it's, again, I don't know if it's informational or if it's something physical, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
if you're talking about information marketing, then it could be, the format,
Okay.
audio, print, video,
Okay.
when you talk about the information marketing space.
Right.
All right. But for you, for example, I would say, okay, Joanna, um, what do you want life to look like in the next 90 days? So give me that.
In the next 90 days, I want to be making at least $3,000 in my business a month. I want to have at least 3,000 uh, people on my email list, and I want to be enjoying time with family and planning to return back to the Dominican Republic opposed
Okay.
to work.
All right. So that's what the goal is. The next thing is we got to now know your numbers. So that's the way to assessment. Okay. So where you at now? So we take what it is that you gave me here, that picture. Now we match that same thing line by line to that picture, which now gives us the gap
Right.
so that we can then I can say, okay, if I'm able to give you that outcome, if I can give you a plan to get to that outcome, if I can give you the tools to get you to that outcome, would you buy it? Right?
Right.
that's the framework in which you would size that up, because all you got to do is find one. Like, you got to just do an avatar for one, sell to one,
Right.
solve one problem.
Right. Hmm.
That then becomes your model for everything else.
Right. Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, so logistically, what could another ads campaign like this look like? And yeah, like what would it look like? How many people are enough
Don't worry
people?
about, yeah. You ain't got to go through it. Don't do it from a research orientation. Do it more so from a practical application. The practical application is, let's just deal with what you already have. For example, we can actually reverse engineer it.
Okay.
So if you tell me right now, what is it that you have that you think you got as an offer that you're looking to sell?
What do I have as an offer?
Do you have something like right now that you would be getting with? So for
I
example, you got your go ahead.
I would um offer my I would offer a list of a freebie of 100 things that you can outsource for $5. Then I would offer a small upsell for less than $10 of a 3-part video series of how to actually outsource those things. And then after that, I would offer the opportunity to join my uh, MLM at
Okay.
one of 3 levels with the bonuses that I'm creating to join the MLM. So that's
Okay.
my value ladder.
Okay. So here's a nugget for you. So most people are out trying to sell their solution,
Okay.
sell the problem, not the solution. Sell the problem, not the solution.
Okay.
So as a generic thing within the whole world of opportunity, the the gap filler that my book provides is that I say that there's a financial danger that no one is talking about. And that financial danger is evidenced by the fact that 77 million baby boomers are retiring and facing a cash flow danger.
Mhm.
That 66 out of 100 people age 65 earn less than $30,000 in retirement.
Oh,
So
scary.
47% of people say that if they had a $400 emergency, they'd have to sell something or borrow money to address it. And 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you go into that as knowing that's a problem, then you would want to at least present something to the audience that you serve that would show how, if they had the need for them to outsource, because we all have the same 1,440 minutes per day. And when you subtract out the time for working, sleeping, and commuting, and the time it takes you to do what you have to do each and every day of your life, most people are left with just 1 to 2 hours remaining to do what they really want to do. But then the question is, do they have the money to do it? So women that are busy working your 9 to 5, when will you ever have enough time to create something that will help you to withstand that financial danger that you're unknowingly walking towards?
Right.
What are we doing? What do you have to do? Well, we've got to squeeze out at least, we got to do something. If you got the income, then we got to put that income to work.
Right.
Sadly, most people don't have the income to afford to pay for outsourcing. But if you do have a little bit, I can show you how to do it on a budget.
Yeah.
I've got this free list of outsourcing as low as $5, right?
Mhm.
So are you giving it to them for free or are they buying it?
That's the thing that I've thought I could really ease, super easily do and give away for free.
There you go. So now you capture that person's information.
Mm-hmm.
Now with that information caught, the question is, what is it now that you're going to give to them that is going to be an exchange of value? Remember, price is what you pay, value is what you get. That person needs to have to immediately give them an introduction to how they can address that problem of trying to buy their time back.
Uh, that is so. That is where my second step in my ladder comes in, and that's a free video series of how to outsource.
Okay, so now I buy this outsource this video series. I've got to find the time to watch it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got to then do the activity of outsourcing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going. So you want me to pay you for something that will require me to expend time that I'm already saying I don't have.
Yes, I do.
Right. So in my head, I'm going through that, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't solve my problem. But you could be a great marketer, but you didn't improve my life.
So, right. So, are you implying that maybe I should give that away for free?
No, no. What I'm saying to you is that you need to think through what I'm laying out for you,
Okay.
and you got to now overcome. You got to now address that. You got to say, okay, no, I don't want that. I want to improve them life. I want to improve their life. I got to get them to move. So what can I do to make it turnkey? What is it? I don't need them to give more information. They don't need more information. If I'm trying to solve the problem with them, you laid out the problem. You remember you told me the problem,
Right.
and I'm just going through the problem that you laid out,
Right. The
saying, okay, we
problem
got to
being
navigate.
you don't have a lot of time, and I can give you a list of things that you can outsource to, so you can have someone else do it. And after you have the list, then I can say, hey, for what I have this. Okay, maybe I could market it in that I have five, three videos that are 5 minutes long, and opposed to like feeling like you have to spend all of this time um, to learn how to do this, you can spend 15 minutes to learn how to do it, opposed to an unknown amount of time.
Well, and you got a frame of reference. Realize that you purchased a 997 program. You've already purchased something, so you have essentially gone through a cycle, like you're saying you want to take other people through.
Right.
In order to make it valuable, you want to really look at what the truth is about what you've experienced going through this. Think about how many people that bought this 997 program ain't do nothing.
Like the
Come
people
on,
in the accountability group.
yeah. But before they got to your
Yeah,
group,
yeah.
the people that where they
I
came
mean,
from, but before they came over there,
but I started the group because I joined in September, and I needed to wait until January to find the time to do it.
yeah, that's the point. So again, a great marketer, the money's gone. See, again, it's about what your long term, what your real intent is. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that I'm talking to you from the vantage point of saying, if you want to really do good, if you don't want to be the marketer, but you actually want to, you don't want to misuse, you don't want to misuse your power. I do a financial peace course. In fact, last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, the lesson was buyer beware. And I was
What?
talking to them about what to beware of when this whole marketing and people and how they want to separate you from your money.
Right.
Okay. So I'm just giving you that insight to say you can do good with your superpowers, but these are the things that you want to look at so that you don't hurt people while you're trying to do for yourself, because that's not going to build your long-term sustainable business. It's going to keep in a continual cycle of trying to create new stuff. Okay, so here's how we do this.
Okay. Okay.
First thing is, you're already clear about the audience. Boom. I've already showed you what it looks like from the problem side off the top of my head, just using that. But you can go and run down more stats. That's what's going to solve. That's what's going to allow you to frame the problem correctly. You got to be able to do what I just did off the cuff, because I happen to
Okay.
serve women. That's my audience. Okay. And then what you want to
Mhm.
do is you want to go with the low hanging fruit on the problem side so that you can then connect those dots. For example, if you got a way for them to generate income, and if you're saying that income is tied to their time, well, then maybe your business, your ticket item needs to be something that makes it truly turnkey. Like you have the list of people, a list of things to outsource. Maybe you got something such as a virtual assistant where you actually have somebody that will do the outsourcing for them, type deal. I'm giving you my $1 million. That's $1 million idea right there.
It sounds like it, but would I charge them for that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Because see, they can make the money work
So,
versus the time. That's why I said I hope you got a little bit of money. If you're working 40 hours and whatever hours and you don't have the time, well, hopefully
right,
you're making enough money to warrant not having the time. Sadly, though, people living paycheck to paycheck,
right.
so they got to
But
be
I,
willing and wanting
no,
to find a
I
time.
think that is, I think that is a great idea, but it's kind of like logistically, how does that even, how do I even deliver that a service like that? I say, hey, when you buy this, I'll also personally manage 3 tasks for you to
Um,
help you get started off on the right foot.
well, let me tell you that there are concierge services, and a concierge service is literally where there's an 800 number, and they'll literally do anything you want them to do. That's the same thing that people get when they hire a virtual assistant.
Right. That's
So logistically, yeah, I'm saying all those things are already in place. There's somebody right now, so there's an outsource. What you do is you outsource that.
right. I would definitely outsource it, but I'm just you have my wheels turning, so I'm just like, whoa, that would be awesome. But how do I do that without giving myself less time and giving like how do I do that without taking time for myself? And
Well,
like
I
if
just
I
gave you the
don't
example. Let's role play. Okay, here it is. All right. Hey, Joanna, I know you're a busy professional. I also know that as a woman, there's an income gap, and because of that income gap, it will generally cause women to end up having less Social Security and less retirement benefits. And if you're married right now, most women still end up single at 65 and beyond. These are some real issues that um, I'm really passionate about as a women's advocate in dressing.
Mhm.
Have oh, do you currently have a plan that will allow you to comfortably retire? Do you currently have a plan to enable you to retire comfortably?
Yes.
Okay, you do. Okay, well, you're fortunate because most people don't, and I can tell you that because 97% of people can't retire comfortably, and 77 million baby boomers are retiring facing a cash flow danger, and 66 out of 100 people, almost 7 out of 10 people, earn less than $30,000 of retirement. And so, although you might be good, I want to still offer up an idea for you to help you maybe to make even more, you know, more good, better. Okay, and here's what I have for you. I've got a um I've got a list. I know that time is oftentimes something that people struggle with. I don't know if it's for you or not, but I've got a list of easy to follow ways to outsource some of your most common tasks. so that you can maybe get more of your time back, that you can then devote that time to things to maybe create some additional streams of income if that's something that you desire. And I've also, if you get this list, you can get that for list, but you may also want to consider the do it your, my do it for you program, where simply on a monthly subscription basis, um, you can have this 800 number, and you can use it at least once, no more than you can use it for 3 times a week, up to 3 times per week. Where literally, if you call this number, then our team will handle that outsourcing for you. So you don't even have to do anything. And better yet, you know what? You don't have to call. You can send them a text. And here's a list, and you can say here's by code. You can send them this code list. Choose that what you need us to do. As simple things that maybe going to get your dry cleaning, or maybe it's to call and set your appointment for your hairdresser, or um, go and have the guy that washes your car to come by to do it on this particular time. I mean, it's really almost anything you can dream up of, and we'll take care of that during our initial consultation, where you can tell me your most common things that you need to have done, so we can then see. Now, if that strikes any chord for you, um, you may be interested in our executive program, where we'll actually do a consult with you and literally look at laying out a game plan for you to um, get even more control over those things that are most important to you. And and that's really just that would just be more of doing a full assessment of your overall life, beyond just the daily grind stuff, but more so beginning with the end in mind of why you really want to do this and what things you want to create moving forward. So um but it's really simple as far as the process. It's really just a financial decision. Let me ask you this: what would the value of you finding an extra 5 hours a week provide to you?
That would be awesome. I could spend more time practicing my Spanish.
Okay, and what would be the benefit of that?
It's my biggest, one of my biggest goals right now is just to finish learning Spanish or to get to a certain level of fluency.
Okay, and why is that important to you?
Because it's always something that I've wanted to do, and it's something that I started, and it's something that I'd like to kind of feel like I've reached a certain level of completion so that I can move on to other goals.
And what would you move on to?
Probably I would move on to purchasing real estate, getting into purchasing real estate. Ooh, something in my eye.
Okay. So what you're saying is that one of the reasons that you want to learn and become proficient at Spanish is so that it would assist you in purchasing real estate.
No, no. I want to finish learning Spanish because it's just something I've always wanted to do. But I'm kind of a one track mind kind of person, and until I feel like I've reached a certain level of completion with this goal, I'm not able to cognitively move forward to the next goal. So
Okay,
I'm just
got it,
trying to free up some brain space, if that makes sense.
got it, got it. Okay. Well, with that being said, then you might actually want to consider definitely having that consult with us, because even in that little thing right there, what we would be talking about is how, if you were to maybe move into the arena of real estate sooner than later, it would actually give you the time to maybe devote the lifetime to living and learning that Spanish thing. So listen, the bottom line is that there's so many things we can uncover if we actually did get the time. But just for the immediate thing, you may want to consider is getting that free checklist, and that capitalize on our service that we can actually do it for you, and you can pay that on a retainer on a month to month basis. No contract, shop it at any time, use up to 3 calls a week, and see whether or not we can get you, how much time we can get back for you.
That would that would be
So,
awesome.
all right. So that's off the top of my head, logistically, how easy it would be to get done. If
Okay.
you in turn have the idea that you want to do something like that, it's simply putting together the people that already have the, you find out some basic stuff that you want to actually have doable, most common tasks
Right.
that are needed to help a person get their time back.
Right.
So you got to be thinking about that to make that real, that somebody actually cares. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So as an example, when you look at it on my end, and I've got on my end, for example, I'm trying to get everybody to the financial part, but I have to climb to that. And the way I climb to it is by identifying a problem that I know has great reach.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is I begin by knowing that 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with some form of cancer during their lifetime.
Right.
Okay, so that means if I got a pool of women, I can go 1, 2, 3. I know at least I got something that I can say is impact, right?
Yes. 1 second. No, I don't want anything before. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so see how that is? That's like a big funnel part. That's like the top of the funnel. 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with some form of cancer. I'm at the
Right.
top.
Right.
I go down. The number 1 cancer killer for both men and women is not breast cancer. That's 4. Number 3 is pancreatic. Number 2 is colon, but number 1 is lung cancer.
Okay.
So now I talked about 1 in 3 women are impacted by cancer, but then I go down identifying, well, what is the number 1 cancer killer?
Mm-hmm.
Then at the bottom of the funnel, I say that cleaning your home just once per week with certain products has the equivalent impact on your lung capacity as smoking a pack of cigarettes per day for 20 years. Well, more times than not, the women are cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
So I go with this big audience of women that I already have a problem that I know is impacting a large sample of them.
Right.
I then go down to seeing, well, what is the number 1 issue affecting them?
Right.
I then identify something that in turn impacts them. Identify the problem. I've isolated a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in sharing this educational information, I can now offer the study to them by saying text cancer to 904-204-0846. I got a giveaway item.
Mm-hmm.
So my giveaway item is informational, whereas yours is a list of stuff. So same, parallel,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when they get that, I also leave them with a couple of questions. Number 1, what was most alarming to you? So I got a problem that I said is laid out, that I educate them, but then I got to see if it actually connects with them. I got to find out what was most alarming, because it may not matter to them what I said. So
So would
your
I ask
research,
something like, what if you could outsource 3 things? What would they be?
sure, yeah. If you do that, I would say you make sure you have a layer that shows you that that's even relevant. But yeah, first thing you want to see it as a problem. Like, for example, how much time is people losing? Show that time is an issue for people, where people are talking about time as their issue.
Right.
So you can just do a search and
Right.
see what articles are written and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because many times what happens is people have this idea that they want to run off with. They think it's a great idea, but nobody cares. They didn't do any research,
Right. There's articles
right?
of how.
All right. So then after I've got that and I've said what's most alarming to you, I then walk them right into, well, based upon what I shared with you educationally, and your own ability to go read the warning labels for yourself. So then I put them in this position where they're in charge, where I'm on the same side of the table as them. I'm a consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any smart reason why you would knowingly continue to use poisonous products if they're safe, effective, and affordable products available?
Right.
And when I get a no from there, then I'm able to then up to the next thing. That's an example of what it would look like.
Okay.
How about that?
That sounds good.
Okay, so if you use that format is what I'm saying, where I say sell the problem, not the solution.
Okay, and you said when you get to the point where you're a consultant and you're on the same side of the table as them, then you kind of say, well, do you think this solution will work for you?
Yeah, then I say, would you like to see the solution? See, the first question I ask is what was most alarming to you,
Mm-hmm.
so I can get them talking. So I'm listening. I'm asking them. They're talking. They're giving me feedback.
Right.
I always tell people that telling is selling, showing is sharing. Telling is selling, showing is sharing. So then I frame a question that leads to them telling me that they know that it makes no sense for them to continue down the path they've been on.
Okay.
Like if I ask you the question, is there any smart, do you have bleach or ammonia or any of that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I said that 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with some form of cancer. Lung cancer is the number one cancer killer. And there's a study that shows cleaning your home once a week has equivalent impact on your lung capacity of smoking a pack of cigarettes per day for 20 years. Based upon that, is there any smart reason why, knowing this information and your own ability to read the warning labels that you have, is there any smart reason for you to knowingly continue to use poisonous products when there's safe, effective, and affordable products available?
No. So that's the question. Is there any reason knowing that there's a better way to continue the way you're going?
Right.
Okay.
So now now the person's come from the intellectual. Wait a minute. No one's ever froze me enough to really think about this. They said the definition of insanity is what?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Right. So you can be like, based on what you know to be true about your current work environment and the time what you're putting forth, is there any smart reason for you to knowingly continue on this path, knowing what the end state is going to be?
Right. Okay.
And if a person says no, what they say, well, what do I do?
Perfect.
My
Okay.
whole world, you done shocked me with this information. Now what? You leaving me hanging? No. So what now? What you got? Right?
Right. Right. So kind of it kind of makes me think of the module where Steve says you have an obligation to sell because you just made someone aware of this problem, and then you say, would you continue like this knowing what you know now? And they say no, and then you say, okay, well, me either. This was a nice conversation. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
Thank you for
Right.
your time.
Right. And then that's when now you come into that perfect thing where you say, now, do I have your permission to share with you?
Okay.
Do I have permission to share with you where I shop from so that I can make the same switch based upon my coming to the same conclusion that you just came to? See, that's an epiphany bridge.
Okay.
You
Where's
see? That's an epiphany bridge.
it is a epiphany.
I bridged over
Mm-hmm.
you.
Right.
Now, then that opens up for the next thing, which in my case, now I share with them a 20-minute actual presentation so they can see what it is and understand because now I'm giving them a solution that they have raised their hand for.
Right. Okay.
And then from there, once you have done that, well, now you served somebody, because now you're doing that without any type of agenda of whether or not they buy or not. You just serve. You like, yo, whether or not you do anything or not. Like when I do what I do, I'm like, I don't care if you. It's not on me if you do it or not.
Right.
But I've already showed you, and you've already said before without seeing what I'm. That it already makes no sense,
Right.
and that's not going to change. So you've already said it doesn't make any smart sense to continue on, and if you don't do something different, then that's going to say that's a reflection of you.
That's a good point. Uh, Thank you. That was very, very helpful. I guess a question that I have now is, as far as solve the problem, as far as trying to figure out what they want now and what they want to buy now, I'm still like struggling with how to practically pursue that. Or do you think it is more like what we went through, the the kind of the train of thought of what we went through, as far as I know that this is what they're struggling with, and if I'm focused on actually helping them, um, then focusing on a service that says, hey, if you join my monthly subscription, you can have up to three free tasks a week where I will personally manage or I will have my team manage um, getting those tasks completed for you.
If you are bent on, if you are set on that as being the money maker for you, then you need to be focusing on your best, your highest level of service to deliver it.
Okay, so I would like that to be a paid prospecting thing for me, but I would like my MLM opportunity to be the thing that makes money.
So then with that case is, then I would have to talk to you about what it is, that is, what is your MLM piece, because what I do is I offer something that allows me to get paid for giving them value around something that I have. In my case, for example, my book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In my case, I teach a class. I got a study guide that I have. So, in your regard, I would say maybe what you do
I think
is
that
that you
this
give value from a class.
dovetails. I think it
Huh?
still dovetails really well because in my MLM opportunity, there's a certain level of marketing that has to be done, and there are digital assets and things that you need to do to get your systems in place. And if you don't have time to do them, I think that you should be outsourcing those things.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Have
where I
you,
think it
let me ask you this. Have you proven that yourself?
have I proven what
That what you're selling?
that my what I'm selling needs has tasks that need to be outsourced.
No. So, for example, whatever it is that you're marketing or promoting
Mm-hmm.
as a solution,
Mm-hmm.
has it been an effective solution for you?
Yes.
Okay. Then we need to document your story, and you're the avatar. See what I'm saying is that
In
your go ahead.
I was just going to say in my sales script, it's one of the stories that I tell because one of my bonuses is the the 3-part series, the 3-part video series that I want to offer for $7.99. Um, but it's me telling the story about how I had a website built for $25
Okay.
because I didn't
So
have time to do it. I had the skills to do it myself, but I didn't have the time to do it myself.
okay. Okay. So then what I'm saying is start start giving away that which you're saying that you're wanting people to buy,
Mm-hmm.
and then track those stories
Okay.
so you can have social proof.
Okay.
Because I'm saying is that right now I would just be focusing on getting those level one relationships so that that higher stuff.
So you
um
think if I could get 3 testimonials, I could that would be helpful in me selling this paid
yeah,
prospecting
oh yeah,
thing?
you gotta, yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying,
Okay.
because you got to have proof of concept, social
Right.
proof.
Right.
But like I said, I know what I could do. I could do some things with you around what I'm already doing, because at the end of the day, that's just another level in which people have, and that's not me even knowing what you're knowing about what I'm saying. My goal this year is to help 20,000 women to get on a plan to be financially free, and I provide an education for them to actually do that. Not them just talking buying some things, but literally do the thing that really I think is the most critical, which is that. So I
Right.
take them through a 9-week curriculum where they're, putting in a debt or emergency fund, paying off debt, insurance, all that stuff. So, but my tip of the spear is getting them to get the poison stuff out of their home. So that gets me into the relationship.
Okay.
And then from that, it then leads to the other opportunities to help them.
Right.
So what I would do if I was working with someone like you is that I'd be like, okay, let's go get the whole mass of women based upon the fact that this is a real issue that are affecting women, probably unknowingly.
Right. Right.
And now once we got that relationship, I can help you to I can help you to be making money that can become part of your funding source for the other things. But once the relationship is established, you now can do other things that you already have in your wheelhouse.
Right. Okay.
Because see, that's right there is a lot easier. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier if you were working with me and you had the backing of this information here that could be done to address the financial danger that no one is talking about, especially if your deal is talking about money.
Right.
And then you build from that because you got the relationship and you've served them in a way that wasn't something that was heavy. And that's when that falls into that 3 ways increasing your income. When I said get people buying more, getting new customers, buying more often, paying more. If
Mm-hmm.
you think about a boutique,
Mm-hmm.
you go into the boutique, you went in there for a scarf, and then they look at you and say, hey, well, hey, think about this blouse. What about these shoes? What about this belt?
Right.
What about
Right.
these earrings?
Right.
Constantly looking for ways to add value. More people than not that I talk to aren't really honing in on the root of things that gives a person an impetus to really do something different when it comes on the financial side. That's why in the networking space, the MLM space, networking marketing space, I feel a gap because I talk to people about the fact that an extra $100 a month is like having 24,000 in the bank.
An extra how much?
$100 a month is like having 24,000 in the bank, assuming a 5% rate of return.
Okay. An extra $100 a month.
500 a month is like having 120,000 in your 401k plan.
Yeah,
5,000 a month is like having 1.2 million.
I could see that.
So when someone tells me they want 5,000 a month and they're working a traditional job, I said, okay, your 401k needs to have about 1.2 million in order to pay you 5,000 a month.
Right. Right.
So that's the stuff that I bring to relationships that I work with when other people are looking to do something in a networking space, because what I offer in the networking space is not a conflict, because I'm just dealing with your everyday stuff. That's why it's the first time in 23 years I finally said, okay, this is something safe I can actually go do.
Right.
So, but anyway, the bottom line is that you want to just begin with the end in mind. You want to really think through it from the customer side, and you want to really ask those questions and put people in a position where they can give you an exchange. Um, if you know that if you already know what you're looking to get people to buy, then do a beta.
Yes, I'll do a beta. I like the idea of that. Yeah, I can think of a few women that would be open to having me outsource some things for them,
Having you
and then
what?
give outsource some things for them. And I spoke with someone yesterday, and when I started talking about outsourcing, it was like, oh, well, how do you do that, and how much do you budget, and all this stuff, and it was a really easy conversation, but it was interesting. We were talking about something else, and then when I started talking about that, they were like, well, how does that work?
Okay.
Please tell me. So I think to do a beta would be pretty simple. Uh,
Okay.
okay, I know you probably have to go. I want to be respectful of your time, but I have one quick question. As
Okay.
far as the idea of doing a summit, I really love the idea of doing a summit because the people that I can reach out to be a part of the summit, I could select them with the idea of synergy with regard to audiences. So if each person has an audience of 1,000 people and we have 30 interviewees, then we potentially have an audience of 30,000 people. Um, I think that can get me to my goal of 3,000 main 3,000 email a list of 3,000 people relatively quickly, a lot faster than if I just did it over time or with paid advertising. But it just feels like a logistically really, really big thing.
It is.
Okay. So I'm not crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not like making it seem to be bigger than it is.
Yeah, you got to do an assessment and inventory of who you are and what you're bringing to make that even, why would someone participate that has that
Right. Well,
and have the ability to draw the people in.
right. I I think if I was in a position like that, I would participate because it gives me access to 29 other people's audiences. And I think for me that would be enough. But don't know. I just think it would be a really awesome thing. It could offer a lot of value to a lot of different people, including the people that are being interviewed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I say this, go for it. And but I always like to say, go with your singles and doubles, yo. If there's an opportunity for you to get yourself moving, get your money moving. You got the information that you've gotten, but don't. I find so many people stuck with that information overload, and they're not moving right now. I haven't rolled out planned on per se, where I've allocated budgeted amount to go put it into paid advertising, and I'm making money for for my stuff.
Yeah. I think it would, like you said, I think it would, like I think you're saying, I think it makes sense to implement the things that we've been discussing, the smaller things. And once I get that system in place, start pursuing this bigger lead magnet.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, because what you want to do is you don't want to have garbage.
No,
You want to prove it.
I don't want to have garbage, uh, but I do want to take advantage of the time that I have right now while not working.
And the question is, do you want to take time on it making money, or do you want to take time on building stuff?
I'd rather be making money because that'll buy me more time.
That's what I would want to help you with. See, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you a. No, I won't. Um, I'm here. I gave you a rundown of one of my low hanging fruits. Um, if you're in the season right now where money is something that you want to make, then I think it would be wise to. It wouldn't hurt you. It'll definitely help you to learn. Is to go through my entire funnel, so you can actually experience and see what you can glean from it, and then see whether or not see how it plays out, including my 1.5 hour training that I did, that I talked about when I wrote out when I said I did a training.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that would be big for you, because where you're at, yeah, I could help you where you're at to do what you're doing right now. So as far as on the money side,
Right. I think
all right,
that sounds like a really interesting program. I just, like I said before, I'm the type of person that has like a one track mind, and
yeah,
I just need to focus and get this up and running before I can take on another um, another commitment.
yeah. Well, again, the great thing about it is on my end is that, as I said, I'm here, and just always know that you want to make sure that you're in a situation where your blinders are not where you're not stuck on the what, but begin with the end in mind. Don't lose sight of what you're looking to accomplish. Be willing to pivot when you need to pivot, so that in turn you can get the things you really want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, dear. Well, listen, I got to run. So give me some pointers of things of value that you received.
This was a really, really awesome session. Thank you so much for your time. Uh, it was uh, just the kind of where you started to begin with the end in mind was really helpful because I really do. I don't think I explicitly said it, but I really do want to help other people to be able to move towards financial freedom as well. And just especially when we talked about how me giving a resource for how to outsource things doesn't necessarily give people more time. It might actually take time away from them and kind of leave them stuck where they are. So I really like the idea of some kind of concierge service. Um, I'm not sure exactly how much what that would look like, but I really like the idea of it, and I think it does kind of meet an immediate need, opposed to say like, hey, you have this problem, and um, if you spend an hour looking at this, you might get some relief. Opposed to, hey, why don't we have a 5 minute conversation and I take care of that for you. So that was really helpful and kind of leaving there's just this idea of leaving people in a better state than you found them in.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time and your insight.
All right. All right. Well, good deal. Well, I appreciate you. Great seeing you again. We can definitely connect another time. I'll send you this recording, and if you want, you can use it however.
Thank you, I
Um,
appreciate that.
be probably good for them to see and literally see us both and see the different exchange. Um, I'll send you a sample of a testimonial that was done, maybe a couple, and if you could just record your own, and that way I can have something concise, because I'm not pulling anything from this right here.
Okay.
All right. Well, good deal. Well, listen, so great to see you. Keep moving along, but like I said, look up from time to time and see where you're going.
Yeah.
And remember, you said 6,000 a month, so six
Yep.
thousand a month. You can start mapping that out by a number of customers, how much they're paying per month, or how many hours per month to get what you need to get to.
Yeah. I am. It's definitely a flag on the hill in the distance, but I'm moving in that direction, so that's what to
Got it.
look out. Quick question: what's the best format to send you that testimonial?
If you send it, probably where we drop it into a Google file,
What if
or
I did
what app, WhatsApp, or
live where the audience is just you, where I limit the audience to just you, and then
yeah, that wouldn't do it. Do it, record it directly on your phone,
okay,
and then just send it to me like that. Because then what
okay.
I'll do is, yeah.
And how should I send it to you?
You could probably do it either WhatsApp. You can send it to me probably, or you can send it via Google Drive.
Okay. What's your Gmail address?
Gmail is asknatescott@gmail.com.
NATESCOTT at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will get that done for you. Thanks again so much for your time.
All right. Take care. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. Oh, please tell your wife that I said congratulations and
Oh, thank you.
enjoy retirement,
Absolutely. Yeah.
whatever that looks like for her.
Now we can do life together. That's what it is.
Awesome.
We're in build mode. The goal is now for us to go build another army of women.
Nice. Well, I'll be watching and
Okay.
looking to see what's going on.
Well, share what that simple thing I gave. I'll send you my 7-minute video, and just let women see it. Again, I just want women to get the message. That's the key.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
I will find the video and share it.
All right, dear. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye bye.